Good afternoon, darlings. Today we are the weekend of the Pentecost. So it is 40 days since April the 8th when we had the total solar eclipse in Pisces. The sun and the moon were conjunct in Pisces. So 40 days later we have Pentecost, and a lot has happened. So I last spoke to you just last week, I think it was. So we had last week on the night of the 10th. So 555 makes 15. The 10th of the 5th, we had Uranus and the Sun underneath Medusa, and we had the light show. We had her beautiful locks. The locks, she had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very, very good. So we had the big light show the last time I spoke to you. And then we had a first quarter moon. So the eclipse we had on that's April, right? Is that April? So it was on April the 8th. So there we have the sun and the moon conjunct on the V for victory. This is the V of the sign of Aries. It's the hippocampus in your brain between the 12 cranions. It's all about, can you get through the labyrinth of the 12 signs in your brain to become the 13th sign. So there was Venus exalted, and it is literally, and there was Mercury. So Mercury had just begun to go retrograde at that time. And as you know, I am very much this unconscious collective. I have really never seen a chart like my own. The 12th house that covers 3 signs. The 12th door is opened in Aquarius. And I have Aquarius, Pisces and Aries. So always a lot happens to me at this time, obviously, because I have all my planets on that axis with just Pluto and Uranus and Jupiter and Neptune opposite all the planets. So just after that, my dog got run over. And then on this 15th, the first quarter moon, I was set up, and the beekeeper, I've just seen, there's a horror movie that's just come out. My name in French, my French married name was Le Bee, the bee. So I had a man come to my house who is the beekeeper from our village, and I think that if I hadn't have been as aggressive, phoning the police and scaring him, just because people just don't realise how scary I am if I'm put under more trauma. And interestingly, on the radio today, there's a brilliant piece all about how people that have resilience can cope with trauma. So some of us can get through immense amounts of trauma, and we just keep bouncing back because we have inner strength, we have a core, and we have the ability to overcome traumas that could, would send most people insane. And that's why it would be very difficult for me to gather all the things I've lived, because just like in the film Breaking the Waves, that girl, literally, or in Dogville with Nicole Kidman, anybody that has that Pisces, people just think we're stupid. And some of us get through the labyrinth. We make the arc. So basically, so enormous, on the 15th was the day that they uncovered the painting of Charles, which I only, because I was so in shock after this man came to my house, and I just realised what danger I had just got out of. And I mean, I don't know what these people think. But it really, and then my Patreon got taken down. So my Patreon got taken down, and 10 minutes later, the man came So I just shut my doors because I let the dogs out at night because now I'm too afraid to let them out for the postman in the day. And I just shut the doors and the dogs barked and a big white van came in. And because I've had problems with people trying to take my life, I had people that came and blocked my front door, and it tries to intimidate me to say that I owed them money. And, you know, it's just typical stuff that happens in this part of France. People don't understand what, you know, I've lived in France all my life, so I know. But Americans and English people that come to France, you have got no idea how tough you have to be. And you've got no idea that English means completely dumb and just how vulnerable you are. So people don't realise that I'm French. You know, I've got the two sides of my brain working. I know how they think, and I know. So the van came in, and I immediately went on to trauma response. I made sure all the doors were locked, the windows were locked, picked up the phone, called the police, got the big sticks that Lars sent me. I've got my High Priestess beautiful sticks, and in fact it was a beekeeper, so he had cleverly asked me if he could put his beehive in my house, and he's taken it upon himself to, whenever I forget my vegetables at the market, which happens quite a lot, he has taken it upon himself, instead of leaving it with somebody in the village with a shop, he's come and, like, you know, men like to kind of pee on what they think is their property. So there's obviously something going on between the men at the market where he wants to say, look, I go to Victoria's house, I know what it's like. They can make up stories. So he leaves. I come home and I find the vegetables there. So I say thank you to him. But, you know, basically I should never have let him. How dare he come to my house and think he can leave the vegetables here? So a few weeks ago I said to him, because they make me feel, I spend a lot of money on all the people there every week. So if I don't come to the market, or I was late, like last Monday, because with Patreon, I spent all Monday morning writing a report for my Patreon, so I didn't make the market in the morning and I got there late. So they phoned me that one of the men has got is on my Facebook, so he messages me and says, where are you? We're all waiting for you. Come on, you know, come and spend your money. Where are you? Which I find incredibly cheeky, but I let them just be cheeky with me. So I go down, it's the end of the market, and they were so upset with me that one guy, they gave me all the end of the vegetables, and they charged me double the amount, you know, that they would normally. I said, come on, please, this is ridiculous. Like, I've just got a few little vegetables here. They're asking me for 60 euros, and you've got these beautiful piles piled up for people that you give for 30. And I got upset with them. I said, look, I've had enough. Just stop. I'm not an English, I'm not loaded in money, please. You know, they really think that I should give them 200 a week, where most people just spend 20, 30 euros. And so I said that I was fed up, and because they just, you know, and the honey man who I had said a couple of weeks before, look, I don't need to buy honey from you this week because I got honey from the other man. I'm just thinking, what a load of rubbish am I talking about? 9 minutes gone, I was about to turn off and start again. What am I talking about? Anyway, yeah, it's just basically because I've just lived a big trauma, I'm sorry. And so he got angry with me, and he said there shouldn't be 2 honeybee people here. There should only be me. And he was furious, so, and his dark side came out. So he then, a week later, he says to me, oh, can I put a beehive in your house? And before I could say yes or no, he turned up in the afternoon with the beehive and said, look, I'm coming to put my beehive to collect bees. So instead of just sending him away, I let him, and I have to stop Punky eating the baby birds. Punky! Punky! Alex! Punky! There are thousands of baby birds, and they're all my friends, and I've been talking to them, and they fly into the house. And Punky, no, no, Punky, waiting to catch the birds. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I just picked up a swallow as I was driving back from walking the dogs. It had a broken wing, and I picked it up and took it to put it on a neighbour's windowsill with some water. And when I went back to get it, it had gone. Okay, I'm just trying to stop Punky from getting the birds because they're baby birds, so they don't have a sense of it. They haven't had any trauma yet. He's going to try and catch a bird. And they don't know that Punky's dangerous. Wait, I gotta go. I gotta stop this. Okay, it's because sitting at my computer, I've got a view of the trees and the birds, so I'm always trying to protect the birds. So yeah, the swallow, I don't know what happened, but that was very telling to find a swallow on the floor with a broken wing. The swallow is the throat, it's the gorge, it's the Georges. And anyway, so on this 15th, which is a very intense new moon that we've just had, so it wasn't a new moon, it was a quarter moon, and it was the 15th, so we had the light show on the 5th of the 10th, that's 555, and we had on the 15th, we had a first quarter moon, and that was the unveiling of Prince Charles's painting that we're going to come to, and the beekeeper turned up at my house at 11:15 at night. And he banged on my door with his light on his head. And I had the police on the phone. I'd phoned them. So, you know, the thing is that you don't know what this man has said to people. Because when I had stopped screaming at him and sent him off, and I came back, I forgot the police they heard the whole thing. For them, they don't know what your relationship is with the person. They don't know, you know, I don't know what he could have said, you know. But thank God, you know, if I'd been asleep and he came wandering, you know, fuck knows. Anyway, that really threw me for six. It was bad enough losing my Patreon, but so my Patreon, I'm so sorry. I have now, I said at the beginning that I had that problem and I cancelled my account, and it said it takes 2 weeks to 30 days for it to happen. So it happened, boom, on this first quarter moon. And I'm going to start again, but this time I'm going to start again. I'm going to have my Mars return. So I've got Mars in Aries, all in that 12th house, that Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and I'm just going to get this right. Everything is a lot better now because Mercury it's going to just leave Pisces on the 20th. So let's see this journey to now. So we've had 40 days from that to today, the 19th, and tomorrow is the Pentecost. So off we go. Then we had on the, was it the 20th? It's Jupiter and the Uranus conjunction that was on the 20th. That's right. So Jupiter Uranus under Algol, and then we had on the 8th of May, 1 month after, we had the new moon in Aries that was with Jupiter, Uranus, Sun, Moon, all under. So it was in Aries. Aries is the head. Taurus is the throat, the shoulders. This is the arc of the covenant, the Jane of art. It's this getting to the back of your head. That's why there's the decapitated head just between Taurus and Aries, the Aleph Tav. This is the summer solstice. The summer solstice is always between Ra is and the child Mercury. So you always have a trinity on each of the four corners. You've got a cardinal, a fixed, and a mutable sign. You've got cardinal, fixed, mutable. Fixed, cardinal, mutable. Those are the these are the signs of the descent. So Mars, Scorpio, Venus, Libra, Mercury, Virgo, fixed Leo, cardinal Cancer, and Gemini, mutable. And then we're back again to, well, yeah, I suppose Taurus, Mars, and Pisces should be the fixed cardinal. But if you look at Ra, I'll show you later why I say it's Gemini. So that's Jupiter. Jupiter with Mars and Venus. And then Jupiter here with Mars and Venus. Mercury with the Sun and the Moon. And Mercury with Mars, with Venus and Mars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's something that I missed here. Saturn, Moon, Jupiter. Mars, Venus, Mercury. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. Okay. Right. I'm losing my train of thought. This is it. I knew I should have made the video this morning when I'm fully ramped up and I was on a high, but yeah. So that was on the 8th of May. We had another new moon and all these guys were together, but it was still in Aries. So then we went along and now, so 13th, 14th, 15th, we had a first quarter moon. We had the moon in Leo making a square to the sun in Taurus, and now we've got Uranus, which is still in Aries, Venus still in Aries, and today, for the 19th, we've got Venus in Taurus, we've got Uranus still in Aries, and we've got Jupiter and the Sun conjunct, and we've got Venus and Uranus. So yesterday was the big combust. Yesterday we had Uranus and Venus combust, and we had Sun and Jupiter combust. So the bridge is almost closed, the arc, and tomorrow for the 20th, for the 5-2, the London 52, that was the horse that won badminton in 2022 with Laura Colette, the French person that wrote the book Gigi, which is G7, GG is 7-7, or it's the 290-degree angles of the corner of the frame of the picture. The two new corners, it's always about the new cross, the new box, the new, you know, in the diaphragm, the connection from the diaphragm to the third eye, the frame, the Dorian grey, the four corners. So tomorrow, on the 20th, we're going to have Pentecost, and we will have, so Venus is now fully at home. She has been here for a few days, since the 17th, so I began to feel better as soon as Venus came out of here, and Uranus is won't enter until the 29th. And then we've got the full flower moon. So a year ago at Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival began on the 15th as well. I'll be showing you all this. So on the 23rd, we've got a full moon, Sun in Luke, the 4 fixed stars, and the moon in Scorpio, killer, killer, killer of the flower moon. This is the water. This is St. John. So this is why my son is in Israel doing this play at the moment of Salome, no longer Solomon, but Salome. It's the female. It's the female that decapitates St. John, the fertility. It's not the man that decapitates Taurus, but it's the woman that decapitates the fertility. She herself was the killer of her own ability to rise again as that eagle. Okay, so this is today's chart. I'm sorry I've spoken too much at the beginning of this video. But I'm going to start again. I'm going to go for Patreon. I've now sorted out the email situation. My Facebook didn't have my correct email, so nor did Instagram that I tried to open as well. I'm not very good with it. I'm not doing anything on Instagram. I just make reels which go there as well. So I suppose that's a big move for me. But at least I've sorted out so that I'm using a proper email, which means that I can reopen Patreon without problems. And I am going to do it. I'm going to have a test doing a live before I open it, because that's one of the things I want to include. And I'm not going to get my knickers in such a twist. I'm just going to make 3 simple tiers. And it will basically be something like, you know, a video for each month to begin the month. Every 2 weeks, a newsletter, and doing a live reading and a live chat, and also maybe a couple of, you know, because I can throw out content, no problem. The minute I feel like people are paying for something, you don't get more of a humble servant than me. You know, in the 2 weeks that I had Patreon open, in my newsletter, I just went to open my newsletter and I just had a couple of emails, 2 people saying exactly what I said to them in their tarot transitions has just happened. I'm incredibly clairvoyant. I'm getting more and more clairvoyant, and the cards, I actually use my gypsy cards a lot, but I can do it with any cards, but the gypsy cards just spell out what I'm seeing in the charts. And somebody just said, so I do get that all the time. Sometimes it's not so pleasant, but I do see everything. So yeah, this was the newsletter that I just did. So I was trying to do that and this shows just all the content. So these are not on YouTube, but they are in my newsletter. So I put the content I had made between the end of April and I got my account taken down on the 15th. So in 2 weeks, I had done 3 videos on Patreon, 2 videos on YouTube, and I had done a very long newsletter, which I added in here. So the content will come flowing in. View entire message. So, you know, as you know, these newsletters I do take me 2 full days. And I'm happy to do it because for me it's a wonderful way of keeping all the work that I do together, in case I ever get my Facebook taken down. So there is Mary Ryan showing you the 5-pointed star. This is everything going on right now with the imposter. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is why Charles shows you one hand, but just the other hand as well. So you see 4 fingers and 2 fingers and a half. You see 6 and a half. So the 5-pointed star between the 2 directions of the wheel. How wow, 5, 5. There is the third eye, the 5, and it should be upright. This is the reversed pentagram with my Mary Ryan and the Maypole Queen in the middle, and this northeast imposter. Okay, so I had just opened, I'm always looking for this picture, and then I can't find it. The two sides of your brain, the bird makes the gnome, and that's what the picture of Prince Charles is showing you. The keeper of the four corners, Rumpelstiltskin. Cyrus is the beekeeper. He is the keeper from your spine, your pole, your pull, your spectre. There is the bridge, there is the ponce, the bridge, the stem also makes an elephant. If you look at that just without putting these two together like that, you see the trunk of an elephant. Nelly the elephant, NL, will now flip to LN, LN, Helen, LN. So this is the Rumpelstiltskin. This is the keeper of the four corners. This is the time of the planet of the apes. Can you find your head, your third eye, your stein, your stone, your ball, your head, your Pierre? This is Pierre and Paul and Jacques. So they're rising Jack on the beanstalk. This man. This is Appy, the bull gods, when you're meant to merge your head and your spine, your torso, and your two arms and your two legs to get the Leonardo da Vinci fifth elements. But some people get stuck in this bridge. They don't make it. So I was looking for that picture, and I found all these. So there's your Montmartre MM, there is BES, keeper of the four corners, the gnome in Amelie Poulain. These are all old posts. That's from September 2023. You see the five-pointed star, you see Christ in the middle. I mean, they show you Prince Charles with just his head in the middle, and I'm like, so everyone's going to get it. I only saw about this yesterday or Friday. I didn't even know about the painting. But nobody gets it. They're just showing you the frame, the four corners, and their head in the middle, which we're going to come to. There we have the eyes on the horizon and the top. It's the cornerstone from the vertical to your third eye, from your diaphragm to your third eye makes the cornerstone. And you have the God spot at the top, the diamond at the top. The pineal and the eye, how, wow, I, 5-0. The four corners, the Ark of the Covenant, that's it. That's it. That's it. There's Leonardo da Vinci and her, the Whore of Babylon. We're back to Baal. That's everyone saying there's 15, your card, the X and the V. So that's when the guy came to my house, the beekeeper, showing his Hawaii 5-0. It's when we get to this hands. And there, I've been talking about it. Yeah, I've been talking about it all for so long. There, the eyes on the horizon and the William Tell. And here we are at the World War III. What is the World War III? It's just when you find the summer solstice, 6 times 6 times 6 is the 216. It's the PBBP, which is just the 16, the P, the B, the 2, and that is your 6996. Your Ab, the planet of the apps. So there's the 33 up. Okay, so back. Let's go through. So these are from the newspapers today. There we've got the Sage, monkey, the moon key, and the Sage is signs. It's the sign. So there's Altair. We're on this new axis, northeast, Valentine and Cupid's. And we've got Altair in the summer triangle, Altair northeast to southwest, and that's why Prince Charles, he had his band, and when you'd see the two sides of the painting, you see the X, you see the two angles of the mutable cross. we've got Nouvelle-Calédonie, we've got the chaos. So the head of the snake is in Pisces. Pisces is chaos. Virgo is order. Still got the snake in the feminine axis. Got the head in Pisces. Mars is now conjunct to Chiron and the North Node. We've got Neptune in chaos making this opposition to the moon. So this is today. Well, there you go. There you go. There is the axis of Pisces and Virgo. And you've got the moon opposite Mars. There you go. And there on Algol today, we've got Venus, Jupiter, Uranus, and the Sun. And Uranus is still just in Aries, and Venus, Sun, and Jupiter in Taurus. Saturn at home in Aquarius, and Pluto in Capricorn. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars. Martin against Saturn. Saint Saturnin is killed by Saint Martin de Tours. This is the whole thing going on to find your Ark of the Covenant between your head and your gorge, your throat. Okay, so we've got the cross, we've got the road, as in the famous film that I keep showing you that came out about the reindeer with Juliet Roberts and the baby reindeer. It's always this road, and there is the cat in the middle, the cat that eats the bird. Sylvester eats I told a putty cat, and there's your cat right in the top of your spine. Auteuil, right, dumb. They've got dumb beer. Ambience, Walking Dead. Yep, so the two sides. Can you get to your spine? Can you make this journey from your spine there over the bridge? They're showing you the bridge. My God, look at that. So there is the painting, and there he's pointing Mars and Jupiter. He's just got a half of the sun show it of Saturn, and he's got the Sun and Mercury folded. And there he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers and 2 fingers. So he's got Saturn, Jupiter, the Sun and Mercury. And he's got the Sun and Mercury here. So there's his, he's got his little monarch butterfly. He's got the band, which is showing us northeast, southwest. And this came out on the 15th. And this is the 3, 777, 111 is 21. And you have normally in the World Tarot card, I'm going to show you, I've got all the pictures out. I've got all the pictures. 69 and 55. 69 is PB, 55 is the Hawaii 5-0. 31 is 13, and 45 is half of 90. Okay, there's so I'm just gonna go through these quickly. Pet ton crin, explode your skull. New product, 60 times more powerful than cocaine. Okay, check out these two. 5 years after Notre Dame de Londres. So Notre Dame was burnt down 5 years ago, and also Notre Dame de Londres, I told you that's where they had the airport that the ZAD came to block. And the ZAD is just a play on Dan, tribe of Dan. The Z is the N. So the 6th of June 1944, we're now 80 years since this is the 84-year cycle between Uranus. Uranus was last here in 1940, and there is Uranus here. So we're 80 years, the beginning of World War 2024, and there is Uranus back here. So they're just showing you, and it's 40 days today, half of 80 since the total solar eclipse. So there you have 5 years later, 126,000 people lived to block this airport. Why did they block the airport? Because that represents Saturn, and that represents being able to find the true air, being able to fly, and being able to be above the primitive, being the primitive man at the back of your skull I just showed you, the Rumpelstiltskin. So what happens in Lond? The people stood Lond stilts. Lond. So Lond is a play on to land as well. So there are the Dogoman tribe. These are the people of the land, and they walked on stilts like the Dogon, and that's what we saw in the picture of Prince Charles. You saw the dog in the middle, the animal god, the god dog. So it's all hand signs. They're showing you the hidden hand, Charles Baudelaire, the hidden hand, la vérité s'illement, the truth if I'm lying. And this is in my town. Yesterday, the Olympic flame came to the capital, and there you see our Notre Dame, which is not the true axis. This is from Paris, Notre Dame, to us below the belt, southwest, from northeast to southwest. And there are the lion gates. There are the lion gates. There are the lions. And there is the 21 card, the girl between the two pillars of the four corners. You've got the four corners showing you the four corners. So there's the cross showing you the new fixed cross, the rebels, the skulls. It's all about the new horizon and the vertical. He's got her hand. So big coming out. People are saying that Brigitte Macron is a guy. That was what I was doing 6-7 years ago. Anyone still talking about what sex you are, they have not got through over the belt, above the belt. My problem is I've got my sight still up where I was still at that level before 2017, which could get me into trouble. We don't care what sex people are. It's happened. It's all about the merging, the artificial merging of the hermaphrodite, when the androgynous is the true higher level above the belt of Saturn. If you merge Mercury, Venus and Mars, you're going to get this lower thinking. So people, des citoyens souverains qui rejettent la République. Yeah, they're going to be bringing in the Fifth Republic. So a sixth victim, so like the six fingers, there's your six. It's the 6 or the 9. And when the attacks began in Nouvelle-Calédonie, there was 5 people killed, because it was all about 5 days from the light show on the 10th of May to the 15th of May to the first quarter moon. So this is all coming into La La Land. We're coming into La La Land. And look, you can see that's Ouche. Ouche is like the ruche, the beehive. So this is all where I am, the capital of the Gers. That's where they were yesterday. And this is interesting. Look at all the, showing you all the squares. And they're showing you the framed. It's like the Zoom. It's like the Brady Bunch. This is an expression in France. If you're a Tongi, it means you still haven't left home. You didn't grow up. You didn't get out from under the dome. And it's funny because the nice beekeeper in our village is called Tongi. And then the old one, he's the one who came to try to attack me. Yeah. So here we've got the lyra of Orphée, d'Orphée. You've got the Vega. There's the Vega. This is all the Ophiuchus tribe. In Paris, you've got Ophiuchus with his snake and his lyra. It's the lyre. And this must be a film in Cannes. We've got the black and the orange and the yellow. Orange is the new black. Okay. So there is a cross, you bear, and it's a pivot, it's a wheel. There are 4 corners to the frame box cross. Your diaphragm is the mid-L to your third eye. AC/DC, MC, IC. As we change ages, there is a war for the corners, coin of the frame, Dorian Gray, Orion horizon. There is the High Priestess, the bird, the girl that sits between your left-right brain row. She is the Ponce Brooks Comet, PBBP 6996. Callie, Back to Black, Betty, Madonna, Notre Dame is on the island of St. Louis. So the Grand Cross was at St. Louis. The cross is the St. Louis in the middle, and the island of St. Louis in Paris is where Notre Dame stands. They are rising the new eye, the new put, whore, the connasse. There are two sides of the VirgO virgin, the virgin or the put. Grace Garce, the beach or the bitch. It's the Jeanne d'Arc to your brain row. The arc is when you can be in the mid-L again. There is a horizon, Zion, and a Versailles, vertical. Hormonal Liza, MLLM, is the two sides of your hands. From A to M, one hand, alphabet, to N to Z, the other hand, alphabet. North, south, silver, gold, to make the hand of Fatima, the third eye is the gap, the mid-L path is narrow. So the mid-L, the Mona Lisa or the Liza Minnelli. The first play that my son did in London, the girl was called Liza, and it was the story of a girl, an actress who'd had a big life, then she has a big accident, she nearly dies, and it's about her comeback. It's about how resilient are you. This is why I posted this. This is on the radio today. I was just listening, the French radio, so clever. Résilience, la puissance de guérison de l'inconscient. The strength to heal your unconscious is your ability to piece together. You know, some people can cope with a lot of trauma, they don't go mad, or people are pieced together again and they're no longer human, they're robots. You know, a note to anyone who needs to hear it: we don't get over or move on from our trauma. We are forced to make space for it. We carry it, we learn to live with it, and sometimes we thrive in it, spite of it. The problem is that even if we thrive, we still attract immense trauma. We are born for this job. In the past 2 months alone, I have lived more trauma than most live in a lifetime. From my dog being run over to the beekeeper coming to my house. I've also had a stalker. I have had a lot that I don't talk about. It seems I only spoke about what happened from the eclipse. That's when my dog got run over, to the beekeeper, but a lot has gone on in between. And it really is your resilience. That's why I swam for 30 years, 12 kilometers a week religiously. And I understand people that do all the body stuff, because it's about, you've got to have a strong body and a strong mind. You need both. I don't need to focus on the body so much anymore. I just eat very well and make sure I have daily exercise, but I don't have to go beyond human limits of what I was doing, whether I was riding horses to a very high level, or I was a top level of amateurs. I don't have to push myself anymore. Okay. So, and then look, this was in social media today. In 1896, this woman, so all media is subconscious program. This is La Marianne. She's called MCCM on the new MLLM mid-L. Here lies Camellia Maria Montfort, 1869 to 1896. So there's your 6996. PBBP 216 is 6 times 6 times 6 is the cornerstone, the eye of the beholder, the voice that captivated the world. Pluto in Virgo generation is 1968 to 1986, and my great-grandma was that painting of her at the Portrait Gallery as the May Queen was 1866. So it's the same thing. Just reverse the 9 into an 8, and you've got 18 and 69 and 9 and 6. It's the same thing. So the Pluto and Virgo generation is now activated. My son is born in 1986. I'm born in 1968. And my son is now doing this play where you've got the you know, it's to find this 5-pointed star, and he's you know, as you know, where he is right now. This is a French lady who asked me to be her friend, and she's just so clever. She's explaining a picture from the 15th of the 4 beasts and the angels, the 4 corners. This is just the tarot cards, the 21 in the middle, the worlds, North Polaris. And look, she shows, like me, there's where the 5-pointed star, the Pic de Midi, that's where there's the breast of Venus, the mosque, the musketeer, that's where Macron, the Chinese president, was the other day. So I don't know where she's popped up from, this girl, but she's got it. She's got it. Right, so let me show you these pictures. It's the Jeanne d'Arc. I've read that, Hormonal Lies, or I've read that. You can read it. There is a black hole gap between the top of your spine and your head. The Pierre Stone, Einstein, and Pole Pull Spine, and Spectre. So how big? So there you have. This is just showing you the new horizon. So Poutine is the east, Virgo riding the whore of Babylon is the descendant. Going from the east to the west, they're making that the new line. The flame, the Olympic flame, went yesterday between the Île Saint-Jourdain, the Jordan Nile, to Auch. So there's the G spot, the G Mont, and where is Isle of Saint-Jourdain? You go along, and I think there's 13 kilometers between here from the G spot. That was the last bit of motorway that they just did. They keep doing little bits of the spine. The Lion Gates, to the Lion Gates, Auch here. And that line is going from east to west. And then they're going to go up. They're going to go up to Paris. I'm not sure, but the journey from Marseille to Paris is 79 days, which is just the 9 or the 6 is the same thing, and 7 and 6 is your 13. Okay, so we go through these pictures. The 8th of December, I showed you in my last video. We have got 2 important dates. We've got the 12th of the 8th, so the 12th of August. 12th of August, we've got Mars and Jupiter on Aldebaran and Uranus on the Pleiades. And there's other stuff. We've got the Sun right between. That was the day that my son-in-law's brother went, when the Sun was between, and he was called JB, between the Boaz-Jachin pillars. And then on the 12th of the 8th, we've got Jupiter alone here, and Uranus will be retrograde because he's gone back to where he is now, but he's still in Taurus. It looks like he's gone backwards, maybe not. And the moon will be conjunct Saturn. Okay. So 8th of December, Notre Dame rises. This is your 5 years. This is your Manda Fatima. It's always the 5-year, Notre Dame's 5-year trance, always the new hand. The 2 directions of the wheel of the Fibonacci, and you've got showing you the fixed cross and the mutable cross, going from mutable to fixed. The hands from A to M and from N to Z. Melody Nelson, MNNM, what was it I was going on about the last? Yes, the guy NEMO, which is also, everyone kept telling me, there's, what's the anagram of NEMO again? Omen, the sign, the planet of the sage, the signs, the planet of the omens. So there is a bridge. There is an Ark of the Covenant between the A and the M and the N and the Z. There is the NEMO, there is the MEM, the NEM, you know, so there's a G in the middle and there's a T. If you drink gin and tonic, you're going to rise the spirit of alcohol and you get your Hawaii 5-0, 26, 8, 8, the 10. So the 15 is the devil. So there's, I'll come 15 is the devil, but it's just, I'll be showing you in these pictures, you'll see. So there is the island that the Notre Dame stands on. And it is the Saint Louis, that's why the cross of the great eclipse. So here he's showing you Jupiter, finger Jupiter, Jude Pete, Jude Paul, two little dicky birds sitting on a wall. One called Pete, one called Paul. Pete, Paul, Pierre, Paul, and Jacques. In the middle, 555. Hawaii 5-0. So he's showing you also we've got Venus, we've got masculine. So there is your devil. That's what you see in the picture of Prince Charles. That is your corner, the dove. Today is the Pentecost. It's the Holy Spirit. When the two birds become one. There's the horizon and the vertical makes the triangle, which is the cornerstone. But not many people can make the bridge from the left and the right. So that's it. You've just got to face the beast in the middle and you're done. So there's the dog, the god dog. Sirius is the keeper of the four corners. The dog on, the Dogon tribes. And you've got the two angles of the cross. So the feminine axis and the feminine axis, masculine axis. We've gone back to the masculine axis. The two hands, the head and the pole. The spectre, and this happened, so you've also can see the two eyes here. I mean, you can see so much, but this is just the Lord Pacal in Maurice Cotterelle. So there again, it's just the beast in the northeast. Hand of Fatima. This is exactly what Prince Charles is just showing as well. This is the ML between ML and LM is the mid-L. It's in your brain. There is the last corner. And this is the same thing. You've got the two boys showing in the middle the passage of the yoni. This is the, you know, the beast. There's one eye. It's showing just one eye of the musk of her breast. And it was about the meter, it was about the consciousness. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own soul. It's Amy Winehouse. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Carl Gustav Jung, Gustave Courbet. World War III. So this is all been coming out today. And it's, you know, he is just showing you. There's got the four corners and the split in the middle. And, you know, he is very much the androgynous, that one. It's just the one in the middle. So there's Marianne Faithfull. And there she is, the Trinity with Taurus and Aries, the red, yellow and black, just like that film I just showed you in Cannes. There is Lord Pacal and the famous merging. This is the same, the four corners, and in the middle there is of your skull. your brain, you merge, you find everything is just. So the dimensions is 77, the two corners, 1797 created. LG it's just the G7, it's liberty and glory. Lord Gruffalo, LG. Okay, it's Taurus and Aries, and in the middle of Taurus and Aries you find the mid L. These pictures speak, they'd say, so the fifth element, they're giving you Lara Croft in the middle when she is just the stem, the bird, the back of your head. You have to merge both to find the fifth element. This is Leticia Casta, the New Europe, the bully. Up. So, what's going on? Okay, we'll go backwards. There is the 5, Hawaii 5-0, the sun and the moon, and the 5 degrees. Sun and the moon, and the merging of the left and the right, unity, balance, perfection. And there is what I call Gemini, Taurus, and Aries, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. On each side, you've got a mutable, so it could be Pisces on the other side, that's Jupiter. But you've always got Jupiter and Mercury, therefore, on each side of the Mars and Venus. You've got Sagittarius on each side of Scorpio and Libra. And you've got Mercury next to Libra. And on the other side, you've got Gemini, Mercury, Venus, Taurus, Mars, Aries, and then next to Aries, you've got Pisces, Jupiter. My son is there right now doing the play. It's just about, can you find your head? Can you make the orb? There's the orb. The orb is found when you find your flesh, your male, your female, your spine. There he's got the Hawaii 5-0, the Ark of the Covenant between the sun and the moon. You find the 5 degrees. And that is all why now it's so important with the North and South node, which are in Pisces with Chiron, that ends a cycle from 77, which are the two corners of your brain. I mean, it's all right there in front of you. Feminine axis. Gigi, Colette wrote Gigi. There's your 9-9, your GG. G is the 7th letter, and 7 makes the 90-degree angles of a first quarter moon. So we had on the 15th the first quarter moon, and the beekeeper turned up. And there's your butterfly of metamorphosis, the Black Madonna, and the two wings, the Black Madonna with her orb and spectre. But instead of holding the orb, she's got the child, and she's got the feet of the bird. This is the Black Madonna. Her body. This reminds me of that horrible Momo that went around. So you've got the 4 corners, and it's very much the Trinity, salt, sulfur, and Mercury, and the mother with said that the child must be on the orb. And this is all from the Maurice Cotterell. It's the merging. He explains Venus flips. When she's in Venus, she's in grace, and when she's in Virgo, she's the gas. fifth element when you find, and this is the mask that is all what Maurice Cotterell's presentation is on. There's Doctor Who with the Mona Lisa. They show just one corner on the one side, the two together, and on the other side, cross, and in the middle you've got D'Artagnan. You've got D'Artagnan next to the Notre Dame. The Who is the bullseye. They're showing the new axis. Jupiter 42, the Ark of the Covenant. And this is Lars's great picture, which shows the pink and blue, which is what we've just seen. The entering through the BJ pillars, which we saw at the EuroVision Song Contest. You find your narrow path and don't look back as Lot's wife and drown in the abyss. So Eris, 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 Helen of Troy, La Marianne, Back to Black, Rising Lucifer, Marianne Faithful, and the girl comes back in red. Miranda. So in Miranda there was a 21-year-old girl that was killed in a car accident. So Miranda is the Tempest. That's what he was explaining in this thing I just saw on the radio. He was explaining that you have to have your temperance. It's the four humours. If you can't, you know, recuperate after trauma, you can't put back the pieces of your Humpty Dumpty, back the 14 pieces of Osiris back together again. You are in trauma. Okay, we managed to get quite a few pictures done. I'm sure there's a few missing. This is another, again, this is this lovely girl that I found on internet. Well, she found me, and she's just so clever. So she was the one, I kept thinking, what was the big thing? What was the 40 days again? Of course, it was from the solar eclipse to today. And she explains that very well. So this is, yeah, I've been making reels to explain. So this happened on the 15th of May, 555, how 5, wow 5, 50, 15 is 6, shows you his 6 fingers. He shows only 6 fingers, 6996, Mars, Venus merge, the 10, 5, 5, 5, 5. We had the Aureola Borealis. So when I showed you the north-south nodes, and I showed you the 5 degrees between the sun and the moon, there's 5 degrees there, 5 degrees. This is the same thing with the Venus cycle. The Venus cycle you'll see in these pictures. The Venus cycle, there's also a 50, there's a blind spot when Venus is under the horizon, which is 50 days. So Mars and Venus, Sun and Moon have got this connection of this 5-5. Okay, so we had the Aureola Borealis, Abi Abba, and on the 15th we had our half first quarter moon. 23rd of May we have full flower moon in Scorpio. Salome beheads St. John, Scorpio, and the ox torso Taurus, St. Luke rises, Aka Arta, Tor. Aries, Taurus, the torso, the head and the torso should merge. That's what Arthur's doing when he pulls the sword out. That's who Arthur is. And James is jam. It's the J and the am of between the A and the M. It's the jam. I'm jamming. Jeremiah. Yah, the Yahweh, gods. Beheading of Europe, Empire, Pisces, Rahu in Pisces now, and indigenous people rise worldwide. That's what's going on in Nouvelle Caledonia. That's the pictures I showed you. This is where the indigenous people reclaim the land and the empires over, although the elite, they are always on the Cardinal Cross. above the belt, and they know the secrets because many are bound in the flesh. They can't leave the flesh. They are behind these movements, and they know that the wheel goes round and round, and all you have to do, it's an inside job. You just have to be able to see it all. The North Star sits between the four directions, all for one and one for all. The 14 pieces of Osiris merge in the one hand eye. The image of Charles is the back of your skull, makes the arc, the Ponce Brooks bridge, the brain row. You are the arc when you find your fifth V element. It's your hippocampus, it's the Aries symbol. You have been framed under the diaphragm. Dorian Gray is the beekeeper. That's why I was aggressed by the beekeeper. Fleur de Lis, Lucy Fleur on the 15th. Lord Pakal is the keeper of the back of your crane, is the gnome when you merge your four corners of your heart, skull, orb, spec. Pierre, Paul and Jack. Jacques and the Bean Stalk is your Paul, pole, spine, and Pierre, orb, head, thalamus, silence of the lamp's third eye. So hopefully they'll let us go through these pictures. So this is the famous from the Maurice Cotterelle presentation. So 291, 96 days later. Well, 291 is just 261, and they've got the 96, 69. So the journey of Venus on one angle and another angle. And there's 50 days under the horizon. There is your Vesica Pisces. There is Viracocha, VC. We've gone from coronavirus to Victor, and from Victor and Corona to Valentine and Cupid's. It's the 12 parts of your brain. If you can connect your nervous system to your cranial nerves, you're doing well. 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's bending down. That will mean something. 1, 5, 5, and the Hawaii 5-0. There's the heads. There's the feminine cat, frog, spider, and the king of the elves. He's the gnome. This is the gnome in the back of your skull, the Viracocha. There he is. There's the Ponce Brooks, and I showed you at the beginning of this video that picture I keep looking for, which shows the other angle. So there is your Ark of the Covenant. There is your 2 wings of the butterfly, the metamorphosis, the meter. There is the birds, the 5-pointed star, and the can adder, the can of adders. Viracocha, the 50 days. This is the hidden 50 days here. Salome taking St. John, Scorpio's head. There you've got the Baphomet, the 5-pointed star in the middle. It's when you can look at yourself in the mirror. There is the sigil of Lucifer. This is just the optical illusion, your vision. And it's always just your skull. It's when your skull, it's the 5-pointed star and the 4 legs. There's always one under the horizon. The 4 fixed stars is the metamorphosis. Two directions, the upside and the up down, the pi, the golden ratio. Okay. Monarch mind control. Right. Let's try and go in the other direction. The hand, the spine, 4 corners. The mutable cross is what brings us back to the 4 corners. You've got the 3 crosses in that one picture. There's always 2 corners rubbed out. Look, there's 1 corner that's taken the rain, and the 4 fixed signs in the middle that makes the diamond. So they're not going to let me. Another way I can do it is edit all. see the pictures, like just in case there's something I need to say. So there we see the hands. He's hiding his hands. He's showing the hands. And this is the Lord Paquet. There you've got Perseus taking her head and Medusa taking Perseus's head. The eye and the five-pointed star between the pillars. This is, you've got Sagittarius and Mercury. That is the tropics at the moment, is no longer Capricorn Cancer. It's been Sagittarius and Gemini, and we're now in between that gap. And there is the labyrinth of your brain. There is the Palenque astronaut. This is just inside your brain, your labyrinth. If you can be the eye of the observer, the beholder, then you can tame the indigenous energy and be connected to your torso, your heart, your body, and your head. Your heads. HH is 16. The Seine, the river in Paris, runs between the 16th and 7th arrondissement. Dorian Gray, they show the two corners. And look, we all have our demons. He shows the mirror with the below the belt diaphragm. This is the diaphragm. This is the frame. This is in Saudi Arabia. And here you see the Philosopher's Stone, the apple and the torso. Five-pointed star, the 5 seeds in the apple. It's the Venus. There's the Viracocha. The 888 makes that meter. The cornerstone is the Vesica pieces is 3773, which makes the Star of David. We've done all this. There's Lars's picture of the meter. And that 666 is the all-seeing eye, where you have your horizon to the vertical, your two eyes on, and then you can get the dogon, the dogon, you get your third eye. The Lone Ranger, the two heads, Silence of the Lambs. This was the old videos that we did with Lars, showing the throat passage, Mercury, Silence of the Lambs. And what do they all do in Cannes? They all cover their mouths, because it's the spirits. You remain in the flesh. You can't, activate your birds, your Ponce brainstream, PB, Medusa, the 396, and that multicolored passage. We just had that on the 10th of the 5th. There's Arthur taking out the sword from the spine. He lifts up the swords. He's holding the cross. The child, Mercury, makes it. So Aries and Thor, Taurus. He's Mercury, the child, the Metador, the meter, the matador has got the gold. He's got the out of the anvil. So the 8 again. The hand, this is the alchemy with the dragon, this Philosopher's Stone. I've seen that. There's your beetle, there is your cross within the coffin. The cross can also be that coffin. It's the rhombus. There's the beekeeper, the fleur de lis, the meter, sea god in all, and we're coming up to the full flower moon. And there is the killers of the flower moon. Charles was given the headpiece of the feather of the Indians. The cowboys kill the Indians. There's the Indian in the middle. And that image we just saw. Okay. So Uno did a great video. I saw his video and then saw about the painting. I had no idea. I'd been so perturbed by the beekeeper coming. And thanks, Uno. I had no idea. First thoughts are only one hidden hand, the Hawaii 50, Venus, Fatima, the eye, one eye, red, yellow, clockwork, orange. So red is the red, yellow is the masculine axis, air and fire makes orange, got yellow and red and black. There's a black frame. Two men looking at the beast in the middle, just like I showed you, looking at the Gustav. Cavour, the world picture, the meaning of the world painting. So the Pentecost is the 50 days. Yes, of course. So tomorrow it's 50 days since Easter, and that's your Hawaii 50 again. So he talks about in his video about Dali again, and that's the Betty Blue Dal. The Dal is concrete, it's lead, from lead to gold. The Dal, Dal eye is the eye, the stone eye, Dal eye. Okay, I think that's enough there. I do lots of, so what's this? Today Venus has entered our home Taurus. That was on the 17th, the 5-pointed star, and we enter Pentecost 5 days after Ishtar. Pentecost 25 is that, so this is all tomorrow. 52 or 25, last leg, or 52. London 52, something could happen in London tomorrow. One badminton 2022 ridden by Colette, you know, maybe war's going to begin, I don't know. GG, LGGL, Liberty Glory, Lord Gruffalo, Laura Colette, yeah. Nouvelle Calédonie, 5 people died. That on the 17th, whenever that happened, 5 people died in the island. Nouvelle Caledonia is an island. So then I was saying 18th of May will be combust. Okay, so that was, this is the chart for tomorrow, the 20th. So we're going to have all these guys conjunct. Mercury enters Aries tomorrow. So today Mercury's on the eye of the beast, and tomorrow Mercury enters Aries. So we'll have just Mars. So we'll have just Mars, the ruler of Aries, still in the unconscious collective, still conjunct to the key Chiron and the North Node, the head of the snake, opposite Virgo. So this, yeah, that's the big 5 days. The moon spends from the 17th to the 20th in Virgo. Right, so tomorrow the moon is going to be on the blue star, Beatrice Dahl, that's what I was saying in his video. So look, from the 17th, the moon entered Virgo. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 22... the moon leaves Virgo on the 21, but the moon enters Virgo, oh, wrong way, just on the 17th, 18, 19, 20, 21, just 5 days, kind of, 17... 18, 19, 20, and I worked out that we just, yeah, we do. 21, 18, 19, 20, 17, 18, oh, 22 makes 5, does it? Okay. Well, it's kind of like 5 days, the moon, Hawaii 50, so that seemed a pretty big thing to me. So the moon in Virgo all that time with the South Node, and definitely for tomorrow, the moon is on Spica. The moon is on Spica, the blue star, tomorrow. So that is big news tomorrow, with a big opposition of Mars. Yeah. Okay, so this was just me showing, again, it's all the 50 days of Pentecost, the Hawaii 50. So this was everything I was hearing on the radio. If I hear the radio, it just like, oh my God, who is this? Militant, feminist. It was everything in my train of thought at that moment. The pink fountain, the 5, Saint Martin de Saint Hubert, the sun, with making masculine. The deer is feminine, and Mars, Aries, putting with the moon. Normally the moon is exalted in Taurus and the sun is exalted in Mars. They've inverted the Arthur, the Ara, and the Thor, when it should be sun and Mars and moon and Venus. So Hawaii 5-0. Probably won't be able to see all the pictures. G7, it's the 50th G7. This is in Toulouse. And there you can see the 5-0 day, Venus below the horizon. Evening star, 263 days, and morning star, 263 days. So there's Laura Collette and London 52. They won badminton in 2022. This year, the winner was from New Zealand. That's the right-hand side of the hand. And she's called Joelle, badminton winner 2024. So you've just got JP, badminton, horse trials, Joelle Price, that's it, riding PC, Pollux and Castor. So Gemini to win, to rule. The right hand, the other left hand is from N to Z, New Zealand. So it's always images. There she is, the New Zealand girl and her horse. Joelle Price, JP, Jude Peyton Paul. She's got all her star on. Oops, 1 second. That's so cool. That was my son who just phoned me to give me a big kiss with his lovely wife. And yeah, I just thought of something as I was talking to him. So 40 days today from the eclipse, and tomorrow is 50 days from Easter, and that makes 4-5, which makes 9 obviously, but 45 is half of 90. It's the semi-square. Okay, back to over here. How many more pictures? So yeah, G7 coming up, the passage, Nouvelle Caledonia. Look, they show the M and the 34, which is 7 and 7. That's 7-7. Gents and ladies, Liberty and Glory, LG. There's Soranus. He is that. So this is just the guy at the back of our brain. It's always the same person. He always has 2 arms bent, the 2 corners of the brain, and him in the middle. That's all. And the Trinity. Your lower body is animal, and the above to your brain, the higher body, and these will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, those are the 12 cranian parts of your brain. It's not complicated. You know, it's just a passage. So the Hawaii 5-0 is the cornerstone, and 5 people were dead on that day. That was the 17th of May. 5. And there she is again. Fracas. This is my preferred perfume. It's a very, very famous perfume. Petite is not the real one if you ever wanted to buy it. Fracas means chaos. So this is the cult of happiness, bonheur. This is La La Land, which we're going to be taken into. So fracas, it's a new, we will bring the war on people living. So yeah, this is all the new social world driving, the media, the ecological media rising. And this is this girl, look at this. These are all the new ecologists. She's called Camille Chaudron, CC. The more we know, the better. So they're bringing in, you know, in the Four Corners, they're bringing in the new green. And there she is with the Apollo sun, but it's in green. She is the new bird at the back of the heads. Aldebaran and Betty Blue, the New World Order, the breast, the Black Panther, the five, the cow, and this is the two hands and the girl in the middle, Paris, Texas, the pink, and the fifth element. She's got her multipass, her chicken. Remember how she ate that chicken? And this is where we are. Paddington with the Hawaii 5-0. And the red and the blue and the green. It's the passage to get past the witch. And there he is with La Marianne. And this is tomorrow, the Pentecost. The two birds become one. Peter, Paul, and the new spirit. The spirit comes down. Seeing what else I had to show you. I don't think I went off on a lot with him. I think that was all in my last video. What's this? On May the 10th, thumb right hand is the letter A1 alpha. I think that I got all that in the last video. So I'm not going to go into that. I definitely put it all. These are the little reels that I do. I wonder if we can. It's all the alchemical. Yeah, I don't think I can be bothered to watch that. You know that. So we're going to end. This is what the post I did on the 15th, saying that this was the first square moon in Leo on Regulus. This will not have been in. Yes, it was. All this is in my newsletter, and it's about the opening of Cannes. Judith Godrèche, Me Too. This is the Me Too movement, and this is Jour J, Grace Jones, the GG. This is the imposter. You should have G in the middle of that first hand, and we've got the Julian and Gregorian calendar. Jour J, D-Day. We've got the yellow and the reds. The yellow and the red. Oh yeah, they've got vampires and cannibals. Valentine and Cupid. We go from VC to CV to VC. This is VC, from coronavirus to vampires and cannibals. That was on the 15th of May. This square. So, you know, I could have been in danger if I hadn't have been so violent. Best form of defense is attack. Jane Fonda, no idea who these two are, but we've got the triple goddesses. So now we've got we've got the moon in Virgo. The moon has moved into Virgo, and we've got the south node in Virgo. We've got all the planets in Taurus, and we've got we've got Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn. So Pluto in Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo. We've got the triple goddesses. 777 makes 21. This is Mad Max. Ferruccio, a Mad Max saga. Oh my god, so yeah, this is... So Mithra, the pagan god of the sun. That is basically what all this is about. Okay, so let's end this video. This is today. Let's see the full moon to finish this video. Okay, so I'm going to get back onto Patreon. I'm so sorry about having lost my Patreon, and I have said in my newsletter, all of you that spent €5, you did get 3 videos and a newsletter, but I'm offering you as well €10 off any readings if you want to come and have a reading, to say sorry. And I'm going to set up again with 3 tiers, so between now and when I set up again, so let's say for the beginning of June, I'm going to set up again. I'm going to try and do a live before then, so then I should normally have everything under my belt and I know what I can do. And with each tier I'll offer a percentage off my work as well. And I'm not going to make such a big deal about it. It's going to be pretty simple. You're going to get a newsletter every 2 weeks, you know, what's going on, not as big as I do for all my clients, you know, just what I do, you know, every 2 weeks, a video to start each month, probably about 3 to 4 videos a month that go in between the videos I'm doing for YouTube, depending on how much work I have and whether I'm able, and a live chat and a live reading every month. So I basically just want to have a community. And so for this full moon coming up, you can see we've got the moon in Scorpio. The moon is in full in Scorpio. The sun, so the sun masculine in Taurus with Venus the ruler, and Jupiter all opposite, and then we've got a square to Mars that's still in Pisces. Mars, the ruler of Aries, where Mercury is. Mercury is making a square to Pluto. And we've got a square from the South Node to all these guys in an opposition. We've got Pallas here conjunct to the moon as well. That's interesting. And yeah, okay. Little semi-square between Pluto and Saturn. But yeah, it's you know, this could be, we've had a lot of water and rain and flooding going on. When Mars moves into Aries, that's going to be fire. But this, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm wondering what might happen, if something will happen in London 52. Tomorrow is the 20th of the 5th. That's 5-2. 5 and 2 is the 7. It's that mid-L. And London is the true meridian. Ley line runs up London, in England, from where I am up to England. But we'll see. So that's been an hour and a half. I just wanted to come. I'm sorry if I was a bit long-winded at the beginning. And I'm feeling so much better since Mercury has left Pisces and Venus is in Taurus. And I hope you all are too. And yeah, you know, we've really been living this bridge and that beginning of a new cycle from the 18th century, I told you, of Uranus and Jupiter. That new cycle began with the conjunction on the 20th of April in Aries. It's the new arc, it's the new cornerstone, and it's a whole new world. Okay, I love you. Bye for now.